Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crime and Entertainment. Now, this is a first here. We're airing the episode with this young man right now, Kase Blaize, but we're coming to you in the middle of the week to talk about what everybody's talking about right now, the slap heard around the world, so to speak. And I enjoyed this interview so much that we did with him about his story. And I posted to somebody want to do it, and he reached out to me, and I thought he would be perfect to bring on and talk about this topic. Kase, I know it ain't been but just a short time, but welcome back to Crime and Entertainment.
I know, right, man? I just talked to you 2 hours ago. It feels like it.
So,
Thanks for having me back.
yay, no problem, man. So let's get to it. And there's a good, even though this whole thing only lasted a few seconds, there's a lot to
Yeah.
unpack with it. There's a lot of variables. There's a lot of stuff that's going to change things going forward. And as I'm sure people know, the Oscars was hosted by Chris Rock. Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett, who is Will Smith's wife, to the extent of her doing the movie G.I. Jane 2. Now, for the younger
Yep.
people that might not know what that was even in reference to, Demi Moore done a movie called G.I. Jane a while back, and she had to buzz her head. And I say a while back, that might have been mid-90s. She had to buzz her hair. And Jada Pinkett, now I've always known her to have short hair. I mean, even I think she was in like Scream 2, and she has
Yeah.
short hair. And even when Jason's Lyric, it was pretty short. That's
Yeah.
like probably one of the
Only
first movies
movie
I
I
remember.
can movie I can remember her having semi long hair was Set It Off. I think it was like shoulder length, like the hair. I think maybe Set It Off, maybe. But
Yeah,
they
and
had
I'm not even sure
cornrows,
if that
so
could have been a wig, because at the end, you remember when she got away, she was cutting it off in the mirror.
oh
So that
yeah,
that even could
yeah,
have been a
yeah,
wig for that performance. I'm not sure.
yeah. That's
But
true.
anything that I've really seen her that I can remember, she's always had very short hair. But it
Yeah.
turns out she actually suffers from alopecia, which is where I guess some hair just stops growing on the scalp. I'm not 100% sure what I've heard that name. I really didn't know what it was until
Yeah.
all this started going on. But when Chris Rock makes this joke about her starring in G.I. Jane 2, if you've seen the video, Will laughs initially. He laughs at it. And
Yeah,
I
he
think he
does.
was almost being courteous because it really wasn't even that funny. I mean, I've heard worse. And
Yeah.
then I guess he sees Jada's reaction that she maybe didn't care too much for it. And the next thing you know, he's walking up on stage and he smacks the shit out of Chris Rock and then walks off, goes back, sits down, and then yells out, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, not once, but twice. So that's kind of the story. Now let's take it from the beginning here. Do you watch a lot of these Oscar shows and Emmy awards and stuff like that?
I watch a little bit, not the Oscars, but I'll watch, let's say, a lot of times the Grammys. I'm a
Right.
music guy, so I watch the Grammys when I can, things like that. So I kind of know how it's supposed to go,
Right.
as you
And
can say,
when you have a comedian like Chris Rock up there hosting, they're going to be breaking balls, especially
Oh,
to
they're roasting
people.
people.
Yeah, in the front row. I mean,
Yeah,
Ricky Gervais, I don't know if you've seen that little 15-minute monologue he done a couple years back, but he roasted everybody in Hollywood, like
yeah,
from Epstein to, I mean, just everybody talking politics. He was just like, nobody gives a damn what you believe. Come
yeah.
up here, accept your little award. Thank you, whatever God you serve, and go back to your seat. Nobody cares about your political views. Nobody gives a shit. I mean, he roasted everybody. And a lot of times those things are talked about beforehand, especially if they're going to go at a hard dig at somebody.
Yeah,
They'll let them know.
yeah,
And probably if they have a problem with it, they probably won't say it. So with Will being in the front, I gotta think that was mentioned beforehand, but maybe not. Maybe Chris done it off the top of his head. It's
yeah.
possible. But Will is like sitting front. Like when he got up out of his seat, he didn't have but like a step or two, and then he's going up the steps to the stage. So, and I know a lot of people have said, like, where was the security? Security didn't have time to do that shit. And it's not like the Oscars.
You're
It's
too
not like
close.
yeah, it's not like you're doing this in the street. What's
Yeah.
your take on this situation? I mean, do you think Will overreacted? Was it staged? I know a lot of people are saying that. What's your take?
Yeah. Well, for one thing, they did say that when Chris Rock was doing, cracking his jokes, it wasn't part of the routine. It wasn't on the monologue. So that
Okay.
was something he did come up on the top of his head, and that's what some of the people from the Oscars actually said that they didn't that wasn't even in rehearsals. So it
Okay.
was something that did come up on top of his head.
Okay. Well, that answers that part of that question.
Yeah, because you remember, because I don't know if you know, but Chris Rock joked about Jada and Will back in like 2016, or
When they boycotted him, I seen that
yeah,
today. He said he
and
made a
he
joke in
roasted him
reference to
bad.
basically she wasn't invited or something like that.
Roasted him bad. Now, um, as far as, let's say, Will Smith, so I'm going to talk about Will Smith first. So when I first saw it, I thought maybe it's fake, like some people were saying, and two, I started seeing him curse him out, and I was like, I don't think that's fake. He's cursing him out, you
Yeah.
know. And then I thought about security, and I was like, but it's Will Smith. Will Smith has never acted like a bad guy. Who would have thought security to attack? It's Will Smith walking on stage. Who would think that? So, but when he slapped him, I was like, oh dang, what the hell? Oh, he was defending his wife. But was that necessary? Why did he do that? But then I start digging deeper into it. So I even started looking at the clips, whatever, right? I
Mm-hmm.
saw, like you said, Will laugh. Then I saw Jada's face not laughing. And me as a married man, and I'm looking at my woman, and she's probably giving me that look like, yeah, motherfucker, you gotta do something. You better do, or I'm gonna pull your man card right now. And then I started doing some more research, and Will Smith came out with a book not long ago, like 3 or 4 months ago. And in that book, he talked about how his whole life he felt like a coward, and that he used to watch his mom get physically abused and mentally abused by his father, and
Really?
that his whole life he felt tarnished by that, by not standing up. So then I thought about that. I was like, we probably witnessed a moment where Will just snapped. He just like was enough is enough, and I'm just gonna slap shit out of him because he snapped. We all had those snap moments. We've all had those moments in our life, like fucking, we just snapped, couldn't take it no more.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking we witnessed the moment. That's why when he accepted the Oscar, remember he was crying. He was very emotional, and the
Mm-hmm.
whole speech was him about protecting people and protecting, and I think that was him. I think he just snapped and just got tired of it. It seemed like it was just a whole lifetime of emotions build up. Now, was it right for him to smack him in the face? Probably not. He was defending his wife. I give him kudos for that. But I guess it could have been. It's Chris Rock out of all people. I mean, it wasn't. Chris
Right.
Rock ain't
Right.
harming nobody. So you mean he could have yelled from the seat, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth" from the seat, or he
Right.
waited till afterwards and took him backstage into one of the rooms and said, "Hey, my wife suffers." Oh, that's right, because Chris Rock said he didn't know. So he said
Supposedly,
he
yeah.
didn't know. Yeah, so he could have took him backstage and said, "Hey, what was that joke supposed to mean?" Gave Chris a chance to, you know, communicate. And if Chris would have been like, "Well, F you and everybody else," then slap him, But if he was like, "I didn't know," anything like that, but it's like it's I don't agree with him slapping him, but it's like I can put myself in Will's shoes, and if my wife gave me that look, and maybe I'm already fed up, I don't know if I would have went up and slapped him too. I wouldn't. I don't know what I would have did.
Yeah. A lot of times people don't know what they'll do until they're in that situation.
Yes.
And I think a lot of what I think people's issue is obviously we're going to go back to the entanglement conversation.
Yes.
So it's like and I seen bits and pieces of that after it was aired. I didn't watch it originally, but hell, I think they made a remix song about it. Um, it was just them saying it over and over again. So basically, from my understanding, she kind of broke it down on air that she had an affair with August, who is friends with his son. What's his
Jaden.
Yeah,
Jaden.
Jaden.
Yep.
And that's why he kind of looks at her. And that's the part where he goes, an entanglement. And then there's also reports that they kind of have an open marriage. So it's
Yep.
like you cool with all that, but then this comedian who's nationally known for breaking
Yeah.
balls, cracking jokes, says not even a really bad joke. I mean, I can see if she's got cancer and she's losing her
Yeah.
hair from a chemo battle. I get that.
Yeah.
but it's, I mean, you're talking about someone who's largely, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, has always had a very, very short haircut, and it looks good on her. I think I can't say that on many women, but I think it looks good on her.
Yeah, I think she's pretty with it. She's pretty.
And I think too, it's because I've known her with it for so long. Like, yeah, when Britney Spears did that shit, it was odd to look at because I knew she had long hair and then she done this shit.
And she wasn't as pretty either without the hair. Yeah. She wasn't as pretty.
I never knew Jada with longer hair, so there really wasn't nothing to compare it to. So that's the Jada that I know and love, and I'm used to seeing. But I guess that's the problem that a lot of people have is like, you were okay with this dude basically banging your wife, and I guess whoever else banging your wife, but this G.I. Jane joke is what set you off.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a fully believer in things can fester and manifest and, from different parts of your life, from acting and stresses at home. Just because these people are celebrities don't mean they don't have personal shit going on.
They're human too.
Yeah. I mean, you can have millions of dollars in the bank, but you're still going to have problems behind, doors, just like everybody else. You're just rich and have those problems. Broke people have those problems too.
Yeah.
So it could have culminated in that, but I don't know. That's that fine line. And then you're at the Oscars and it's Will Smith. Like you take, I don't know, 50 Cent or The Game going up there and slapping somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not as shocked.
You expect it.
I'm not as shocked. But you're talking about Mr. Getting Jiggy with It, Wild Wild West. I don't cuss in my records. I don't kill nobody in my records. Yeah. But I still managed to get up here. Fresh Prince, Funky Fresh the Flesh with a Vengeance, Holmes, Will Smith. And it's like that one, and this is what I hate about it for him, because he's worked his ass off from time he was young with Fresh Prince, all of his movies. He finally got to the night where he was about to get an Oscar, which is like your crowning achievement as an actor, and nobody's gonna fucking remember that movie. I mean, they might remember the movie, but that night will be known for that slap where he let all that shit go down and he became someone else, another person, a mental breakdown, a character, whatever he had going on. That's what he's going to be remembered for. And it's really a shame at the end of the day.
It really is, man, because like that's his first Oscar. He's I think he's the only person to win a Grammy and an Oscar, as well too. Yeah, because he won the Grammy in like 88, 89 with Parents Just Don't Understand or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then he wins the Oscar, so he's in a top of elite of like very few people, if anybody's ever done that. I can't think anybody's done both.
I don't know about men. Did Gaga win one for that movie she was in with Bradley Cooper?
I don't know. Was it her or the writers? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if there was one. I just know that movie had some award nominations. It was a big deal. I don't know if she actually won one for it or not. I'm sure she's got a Grammy. She's, very popular artist.
Oh yeah. And Will Smith is one of the most popular actors, around the world, maybe top 5. You can easily put him in around the world. Then you have Chris Rock, who everybody knows Chris Rock. Everybody hates Chris. I mean, he slapped Everybody Hates Chris all 4 seasons out of him, but
man, I tell you, the meme community, the meme culture has had a field day with this. And this is like this day and time. It's what we have talked about in the past with this. I don't know, cancel culture might not be the term for this, because I don't know if you can cancel Will Smith. I mean, even if he never got a movie role again, he's still set for life, I would imagine.
Oh yeah.
But you make that one mistake and your entire body of work as an actor is diminished, and it's got a black cloud on it. And it's really, it is a shame. But at the same time, I got to believe that the Will Smith, the inside, the real dude, knows that was not the time or the place to do that. Even if that upset you to the point to where you're like, you know what, I got to address this shit, but I'm going to do it like a man whenever these cameras are off. You done that in public. And not only in public, you've done it on the biggest award stage of all on national television. So there's no taking that back. There's no yelling cut.
Oh man.
And then now we got to get into the point how was he able to do that? How was he not arrested?
He's Will Smith.
But what I'm afraid of.
We would have got escorted and thrown in jail right then and there.
banned from award shows. Your ass ain't never coming back. You got pictures on the door. I mean, but he wasn't even asked to. Well, they said he was asked to leave, and he told them no. Which still, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you,
They
Will Smith.
they asked him, Mr. Smith,
Yeah.
can leave.
Yeah, we talked on your story. How many times did they ask you, Mr. Pate, will you get in the car? No, they put the dog on your ass.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna, and to me, I'm scared because, well, not scared, but I mean, I'm thinking that this is what's gonna happen from now on if a comedian is doing what they do. I mean, I love watching celebrity roast, and they kill
I
people
love it.
on
Yeah,
there.
it's funny.
So now, if a comedian doing something like that or the club says something, I think that's going to give, not everybody, I think most people still know that they can't get away with that, but there's going to be somebody that's going to get up on that stage and try one of these comedians and then wonder why they getting arrested. Oh, well, y'all didn't do this to Will. What the hell's going on?
Oh, no, they gonna try the wrong comedian. The comedian gonna knock them out.
Yeah, they're gonna try the wrong comedian and get their ass whipped. Is what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Because not everybody's Chris Rock.
Exactly. And that's another thing too. Like, you stole Chris Rock. I understand it wasn't a punch. It was a slap. Yeah. But now he took it. I'll give Rock credit. He took it.
Hey, Chris Rock, man, he gets all my respect. That he still cracked the joke after that. He said, I just got slapped the shit by Will Smith. Yeah. It still was cracking jokes.
And if you notice, you got to listen to it because I know everybody was in shock by the slap. And then he goes back. And then he's like, really? And that's when he says that, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth the first time.
Yeah.
And he says, it's really quick. You got to listen to it. But he's like, man, never mind. And you know what he's thinking is, I could roast your ass right now if I really wanted to. But I think a part of him probably knew if he'd have said something, he was coming back up there.
I'd do more.
And I think maybe at that point, everybody was still kind of wondering, is this part of the show?
Yeah,
is it playing? Because we've been down this road before. Anybody that's a wrestling fan, if you watched your history or went back, you had a similar thing like this with Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler back in the day, right? Yep. And then it kind of replayed again later on, kind of more in my heyday of watching wrestling, the Attitude Era, when you had Mike Tyson and Stone Cold Steve Austin going.
Yeah.
So this isn't uncommon for things like that to happen, but at the same time, nowadays it is. I can see where people wasn't sure if it was scripted, part of the show.
Yeah.
What?
So it's like,
it's hard to process, man.
I was listening to the radio this morning. Now, the one good thing about it, they said Chris Rock is going on a tour. He's on a tour right now.
Yeah.
They said his ticket sales jumped up 70%. And not only that, the lowest minimum ticket is $700 right now. Because people jumped on the Chris Rock bandwagon and want to go see him now, So Absolutely. It was a positive for him.
Yeah, it's a positive. And I mean, I'm going to say right now, kudos to Chris Rock for keeping his composure. He had to address that he got slapped. Obviously, you can't, nothing to see here, folks. He just got the shit slapped out of him on national television. He played it off great. He addressed it. And then he kept the show going. Now, I don't care what you think about him as a man. I know people's going to say, oh, I'd have beat the shit out of, I'd have done this, I'd have done that. He still had a job to do. You don't know what you're going to do. You get the hell slapped out of you on there. You're frozen for a minute. I'm not going to say everybody's going to do what Chris did, but the professionalism that he handled that with is really impressive to me. I got to say, I gained a lot of respect for Chris in that aspect.
Oh, yeah.
And I respect Will for standing up for his woman, but at the same time, I lost, I believe, more respect than I gained for him doing it the way he did it in the time and place that he did it. And then later on, you give the man a damn Oscar. Like, it's like you're glorifying what he did, but any other time, you would be tearing somebody to shreds. If this shit happened and was recorded on TMZ, they would be tearing people to shreds.
Right. If you look at the when he got slapped, some people have noticed it. You might have to slow it down, watch it a few times. Chris did take his other hand and balled up into a fist for like a split second,
Yeah.
like he was gonna come back, and then caught himself like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
You don't even know if he knew for sure if Will was about to go through with it. You know, I mean, people come up to people all the time and be like, and stop right there, you know, and so he probably did. It probably did kind of catch his ass off guard when that was a real smack. And he was probably talking to himself when he said, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Hey, what would you have done if you were Chris Rock and you got slapped in Oscars on stage?
I'll be honest with you, the shock would have probably been like, this motherfucker just really slapped me. And I would probably just have to go dive on his back right off the damn thing. And we rolling off the stage. Like it was for a minute to be like, Will Smith just slapped me. But then it's be like, me and Will fitting to go out of here and twirl the lights, because I can't.
Yeah, not just slap you, but slap you in front of millions of people around the world too. Took your man card from you pretty much.
Because you're talking about two guys that are largely, you know, Chris, after this, like you said, his ticket sales have jumped through the roof. I think even if he would have responded violently, his ticket sales would have went through the roof. So he was good either way. That's the good part about getting hit first, is people's always normally gonna have your back, because you kind of got sucker slap, sucker punch. Will's the one that's gonna face, I think, the worst fallout. So even if Chris would have went and dove on his ass, I think it would have still been positive for him either way, because comedians kind of have a little bit more leeway with that. Your movie sets is going to be like, damn, we paying $20 million to this guy. He look like he might be a little mentally unstable. I don't know if I want to fuck around with him all kind of way. So, I mean, and they look at that. Largely for a long time, Robert Downey Jr. could not land roles because of his character and his, you know, offset behaviors. Now he got straightened out.
He had a drug addiction problem. He went to prison and
real
stuff.
Bad. He was in prison, and I mean, there's a phone call where this guy goes into his daughter's bedroom, and RDJ's passed out in his fucking kid's bed. Like he just crawled through a window and went to sleep. He's just like, fuck it, this is an open window. I'm gonna catch me a nap. And I mean, that's, you know, that's the level that he was at. So for a long time, they said like he was having to pay so much in personal insurance on the movies that he wasn't really making a whole lot, because the studios refused to give him insurance. And obviously he got himself straightened out. He, you know, landed Iron Man, and, you know, that was all she wrote. And he's long time sober now. So, I mean, and kudos to him. It can be turned around for sure. And that's a great thing for people, a great positive message for people, that no matter how low you go, you can always build yourself back up. He's definitely proof of that. But I don't know, man. I mean, Will's kind of at the tail end of his movie career, I would think. You know, he's not going to be getting, he probably don't even want to do movies like he did back in the day. But at the same time, that's what he is. He's an actor. And not being able to do that, I'm sure, will affect him mentally. And by what he did the other night, he might already be affected mentally. So that's one thing you kind of got to look out for too, is if it really is a mental thing, you know, this could spiral to be worse than what it is, you know.
Yeah, he might have to switch to a gangster rapper role now. He might have.
Well, you know, he's supposedly. I mean, I see these things on you know, Facebook and all that. He's supposedly playing Nicky Barnes. I don't know if you know who that is or not, but he was one of the big drug dealers in New York around the same time Frank Lucas was there. Matter of fact, he's on the cover of Time magazine. It says Mr. Untouchable. So famous photo. He was supposed to be playing him. Now, I don't know whether they maybe already filming some of that shit, and he was kind of feeling Nicky, and, you know, was just like, I'm just, you know, I don't know.
He was still in character.
Yeah, I mean, that didn't look like no tennis father up there slapping the shit out of somebody. That looked like an old New York gangster slapping the shit out of somebody.
Hey, it looked like he was still in West Philly, bro.
Yeah. Got into one little fight. His mom got scared. I don't know. To me, like you said, that's gangster Will Smith, and I ain't never seen gangster Will Smith.
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere, man. Hey, it came out of nowhere. Like, we've never seen that side. And you know what? I think that might save him, though, is the fact that we've never seen that side of him until that. Even though that one incident was probably the biggest incident ever, you know, especially on the Oscars, it has to be, or any award show. But I think that might save him, because some people are going to feel sorry for him. as in either it's a mental issue, and some people even blame his wife. Some people are saying, hey, his wife is toxic to begin with. My wife even said, she goes, she said, what would you would have done if he was toxic? And I told her, I was like, I really don't know if I would have sat there. I don't know what I would have done if I saw some hurt you. But she goes, if you would have got up, I would have stopped you though, and
Yeah.
stopped you from going up there. Why didn't she stop him? Why didn't she
Right.
try and be like, no, this ain't the time? You know? So some people, well, I can see that scenario too. Isn't like you said, she had him on national TV talking about I cheated on you, whatever, So I
Yeah,
mean,
on live TV, you drop a bomb and you try to pretty it up by saying an
yeah,
entanglement. I don't even know if that's a real fucking word or not.
it's a word after them. Her face is next to definition.
Yeah, it was a
Now it
word
is.
after that, and even him, he looked at him as an entanglement.
Entanglement.
Like what you fucking him is basically what you're saying. That's what you're really saying.
Entanglements?
Yeah,
Okay, you guys are
and
entangled.
then he's
But
this
yeah,
young
but
fella that's hanging with his kid, Jaden. I mean, it's like that's even
yeah,
worse. Like that's it's one thing to get cheated on, but when you get cheated on by somebody that's like boys with your teenage son, that's even
yeah,
worse. But
yep,
then there's people that saying that they had an open marriage, and there's
yep.
always been rumors that Will could have possibly went both ways. Now I don't know about all that, but I mean I've heard
Yeah, I
rumors.
remember that too. You ever seen that first movie, his first movie, 6 Degrees of Separation?
Yes, yes.
When he was in bed naked with the other guy, and
Mhm.
they're kissing and all that, and they said that was. I remember it was a rumor saying it was not hard for him to play that role because of he was already used to it or something like that or whatever,
Yeah.
But
What's
that
the
movie was
rumor?
going
I
by the way,
think
but
has something to do with the kid, and I don't know his name right off the bat, but he was the star in the Above the Rim movie, the one that played Kyle.
oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
I
Yeah,
want
I
to
know you're
say
talking
he
about
had his
Tupac's
own
movie. Yes.
show. Supposedly, Will financed that show for him and
Uh
set him
huh.
up to do the show. I don't think the show really got off the ground very much and didn't do what they wanted it to do, but that
Yeah.
was supposedly a rumor back in the day. But a lot of people live secret lives. I mean, there's been rumors of a lot of people doing that, in Hollywood, but still, if you got all that shit going on, you would think you can handle a G.I. Jane 2 joke. You would think. You would think your shit's above getting upset about that. And I think that's
You.
where a lot of people are at right now. Cause that's mostly
Yeah.
what you got two groups of people. Oh, he was defending his wife. I'm proud of. And then the other one's like,
Yeah.
well, why didn't you slapping the shit out the man that was bedding your old lady? That's the real
Yeah.
issue.
Why
That's
why
the
you do this
separate.
now?
Yeah, why are
Yeah.
you
Why
doing
you
this
do
to
this
a
now?
guy that's not even really being genuine about it? It's not like he came up and said this shit in the street in front of a bunch of people, that you friends with
Yeah.
in a closed off setting. He was a comedian, largely doing a job, playing a part, doing what he
Yeah.
does. And you should, as an actor, be able to see that and understand what he's doing. It's not like somebody's doing this at a personal attack. And that's, I
Yeah.
think, the disconnect. You got those two groups of people. And like you said in the beginning, I can see why he did what he did, but that was definitely the wrong place, the wrong time. And I think more than anything, it just sets a horrible precedent on what people can get away with, or what people will think they can get away with, because not everybody's Will fucking Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Let's just blame Jada. It's Jada's fault. Let's just blame her. Okay.
I mean, she's got a lot of the blame. I mean, ultimately, Will's the one that
Pulled
walked
her.
up
I think
there.
she pulled his man card. She tried to. I was like, you better go do something.
Yeah, she looks at like, yeah. What? I mean, did she look at him, or did she just look down? Did she look hurt?
Well, on TV, we just saw how she rolled her eyes and looked hurt. And if
Right.
you look on TV, there's a woman sitting next behind her too. I can't remember the actress name. Even the woman behind her was like, "Oh, that was a horrible joke." Shouldn't have made a joke like that. But Will Smith was like, he giggling. But one of the celebrities, I think Tiffany Haddish, the comedian,
Yeah. Yeah.
who she said that Jada Pinkett was on the big screen the whole time when he talked about her. So everybody in the place saw how she was upset, rolled her eyes, and I guess looked at Will.
Yeah.
But they didn't show Will. They were just this camera was just on her, you
Ah.
know. So yeah, so Will probably laughed and probably looked at her, and then she looked at him like, "Yeah, you better do something right now," or whatever.
I
Because
seen Haddish's advice to what she would do or what she should do to Will. I don't know if you caught that or not. What
oh yeah, I saw that too. She said, "I'll take care of him tonight."
from the back, I think she said. I was just like, Jesus.
And then
Oh.
there's pictures, and video of it, like when they went to commercial, and
Mm-hmm.
it shows like Jada holding Will Smith's hand when he came back. Like, yeah, you're a good guy. You did this for me. And Denzel Washington is like standing over Will in between, because Chris Rock actually walked over to Will when he went to commercial, and I guess Chris Rock is trying to, I guess make friends,
Yeah,
and
smooth things
Will's not
over.
saying anything. Yeah, and Denzel's in the middle trying to be, the middle guy or whatever, trying to, calm Will down. And Nicole Kidman walks over, checking on Will. Nobody checked on Chris though, but
I ain't lying. That's my thing is this. He ain't the one that got smacked. You taking care. I mean, oh Jesus! It just. I mean, a part of me is pissed because like that's like somebody coming up to me or you on the street, slapping the shit out of us, and everybody running up to them. Oh, you okay? This is unlike you, motherfucker. I'm the one that just got slapped. You need to be checking on me. Am I missing a tooth? I
right?
mean, that's
Hey, hey, Chris Rock ain't no big guy. He look like he about 120
no.
pounds,
And I
and
mean, that's another thing too. We got to address this shit. If this was The Rock up there and said that shit, which I don't know if Rock would have said that, but it, he's not doing that. He's not coming up there and
oh
slapping The
no,
Rock all kind of way.
no,
Or,
we even get somebody you said like a 50 Cent. If 50 Cent
yeah,
was up there cracking a joke.
yeah, really any damn body other Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, maybe, and Kevin Hart's kind of cut up to be a short fella, but
Yeah,
like, I mean, I don't know. That was probably like the easiest target you could have picked is Chris Rock.
yeah.
I mean,
I
he
think
never.
Dave Chappelle would have hit him. I think Dave Chappelle would have swung back.
Oh, I think Dave would have too. Dave don't give a fuck. Dave walked away from
Dave would have swung back.
$8 million just off general principle. So you hit the man on live TV. I gotta believe he's gonna go to your ass. And
Oh, oh yeah.
all them characters, he's Charlie Murphy and a motherfucker off that stage. He's gonna kick him in his chest.
Dave probably wouldn't have even let him get close. Dave probably would have been talking shit as he's walking up the stairs.
All right,
What, you
motherfucker.
mad now? You mad, Will?
I will hit you with this microphone
Yeah.
right upside your motherfucking head.
Yeah. Yeah, if that was Dave, it would have been a different story. But it's Chris, man. He's 120 pounds. Everybody hates Chris. It's like,
Ah,
oh man.
it's definitely it's a shame. At the end of the day, it's a shame that that could tarnish his legacy. It's a shame it happened on the night that it did, that he won the Oscar. And for the Williams sisters, they're kind of getting lost in this too, because I haven't seen that particular film yet, but from what I understand, it's very good. And obviously, those are two of the best tennis players in the world, so I'm sure that movie means a lot to them. So the fact that their movie, their night, where a culmination of it was, going to get its due process and getting this award, it probably pissed them off a little bit too. I would think. I mean, it wouldn't be me if it was my story up there and
Yeah.
the guy portraying, a member of my family goes up there and acts a damn fool. You're taking all the attention away from,
Yeah.
the movie. It's on you now.
I know if my story ever comes to a movie and the person who plays me, yeah, they start a fight on stage, I'm gonna be pissed. I
Yeah.
might join that fight and jump him. Like, what's wrong with
Yeah.
you,
What
bro?
the hell wrong with you, man?
I'm on it, bro. Now you gotta buy me out of jail because I went to jail over beating you up.
Gotta get, what was that? Bobby Bonds, you said. Gotta call Bobby Bonds. Go
Yep.
get you on out of there.
You remember.
Yep. Well, I
Oh
mean, I
man.
just wanted to have somebody on to kick around a few things, man, because it's just there's a lot of elements at play. It's not just a simple smack. It's who he was, it's who Chris Rock was,
Yep.
it's what did happen, it's also what didn't happen. Because that's the
Yep.
biggest thing is that I think is going to come out of this. Is it going to change the way award shows are done? Is it going to tone it down? Is it going to now require security? Is it going to
Yep.
change the way comedians are allowed to talk to audiences, everything? Because being organic is a lot of what them shows are built off of, especially in those opening monologues when they break everybody's
Yep.
balls. And when you take that away, you can tell largely when things are scripted. You know, most people can just tell. You can have that feeling when things aren't organic. Or somebody, you know, if you're telling a joke second or third, you can tell somebody's never heard that joke before, if they're laughing just because they just want to laugh because you told it. They already heard the shit. You can tell when something's organic. And when it gets watered down like that, I feel like you're taking away from the quality of the product. And then, like I said earlier, on these independent shows, a lot of these guys do these shows. Like you said, I think he's in Boston right now and did a show or doing a show in Boston that sold out. You fuck around down there in Boston, somebody else might come up on the stage. Oh, Will got him. I'll go up there and try him, you know. Now, I bet you one thing. I bet you there's some security around that motherfucking stage from here on out. Charging $700 a ticket for the cheapest seats. I know he's got some security. He's got a couple of Debos around there ready to just fuck somebody up. Thinking
I hope so. I hope so now.
Yeah, you're not gonna get him again. I can promise you that. You might. Will got away with it, but like I said, everybody ain't Will.
Hey, this one guy said it would have all. Why couldn't Chris Rock just duck? It would have all been avoided if he would have ducked.
And I mean, that's why, like, I don't know if he really thought. Who would have thought?
Will Smith's gonna slap you.
Yeah, Will Smith's gonna really slap you on stage. You're thinking whole time coming up, and you think he's probably fixing to mess with me. He's gonna pick me up or act like he's gonna do something. He's gonna joke around. It's Will Smith. Like you said, now if 50 Cent comes walking up on that stage, you might better get the hell on out the way or call security or something, because 50 don't play around like that. He'll fuck you up. But Will Smith, you're not expecting is gonna slap the shit out you. It's just not something you're expecting.
It's bad, but I think I'm gonna laugh about that forever, man. Like, I'm gonna tell my kids about this when they get older. Watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You see this same guy? He slapped this guy on. No, he didn't, Dad. Yeah, he did.
I mean, this is damn. I can't even remember Captain something other Independence Day that saved the world, and now he's slapping the shit out of Kid Rock.
Oh, poor man. I just hope he gets whatever situated checked out. It's obviously deeper than I think it's deeper than that joke, you know.
Yeah,
so.
It's definitely deeper than that joke. I don't think you can be a man that's accomplished everything that Will Smith has, that's been through everything that he has, that's went through everything with his wife that, you know, basically blasted him on television, and that be the thing that sends you over. I think there's a deeper issue. Hopefully he gets it checked out and addressed, and this isn't what he's known for. I mean, I hate for anybody's body of work since they've been a teenager to be destroyed, you know, off one act. But like you said earlier, everybody has that time where they've had enough, and it don't have to be that one particular incident was something huge. I mean, they say that the whole saying is that was just a straw that broke the camel's back. It don't have to be a big deal. It can just be what set you off that day. And, you know, unfortunately, I think that's what we had happen. And also he done it on national fucking television on the biggest award show ever, which complicates things even further. I mean, it's one thing to do that shit in the privacy of your own home, or maybe even out in public. You're still probably gonna get recorded and get put on TMZ, but damn, you didn't even need TMZ for this. This is on the fucking Oscars.
If he would have did that on the Hip Hop Source Awards back in the day, he would have got away with it.
Oh yeah, they would.
What fighting they was doing?
Yeah, Suge and all, Snoop and all them boys about to have inside a damn gang war up in there.
Right, that was minor, you know.
Y'all ain't got no love for East Coast and Dr. Dre. Fuck y'all then. We don't love y'all neither.
Hey, you know what would have been funny if somebody from the crowd would have yelled "World Star."
Oh yeah. I mean, and that was another thing too. Like, I don't even know who that woman was, but when he's yelling that, the woman behind him, you can tell the first one, she's like, all right, is this a joke? Is this real? And then on that second one, she's like, oh shit, he's serious. Like, this is real. I mean, and you can tell that by her eyes because her lips ain't moving, but you can just read her eyes like
big, like, oh
this
shit,
motherfucker's crazy. He's
right behind his ass.
And she's going to always be in that clip because she's sitting right over his shoulder. I don't know who it is. I don't know if she's an actor. I don't know if she's a patron. I don't know who her name is, but she will live in infamy because of that slap, because she's always going to be shown. It's like when those things happen, whoever's in the background or the side, they always going to have that moment, because every time they show that, there they are, like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Man, I'm having
Oh
fun doing
man.
this, man. I wanted to come on here and just kick a few things and give my opinions and share our thoughts, hear your thoughts. In closing, man, let's end it on a little bit of positivity. What's your favorite Will Smith movie that he's done?
Mine has to be what is it? The one where he was trying to get the job and he was homeless with a son. What was it
Pursuit of
called? And he was
Happiness.
trying to get the job.
Pursuit of
What was it?
Happiness. Pursuit of Happiness.
Yes, Pursuit of Happiness. Yes, that was probably my favorite. That one made me cry. Actually, that was probably my favorite one. You know, it kind of touched me actually, especially that episode when he's in the bathroom
Yeah.
and has to close the door. Oh yeah, that touched me, man. That was
Yeah.
probably my favorite one.
That was a good one. I don't know if I really enjoyed like that first Bad Boys movie. That was
Oh yeah,
one
the
that kind
first
of
one.
came
The first one was
out
good too.
when I was a teenager, so I was getting into those, high-powered action movies. That was when Michael Bay first started cutting his teeth working with Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah,
All those cool shots, those I think they call them the
slow
hero
motion and
shots now.
everything.
Yeah, the slow
Yeah,
motion, like when he's running in the street and the camera just kind of pans up and you
yep.
see him all cool. That shot that everybody just thinks so damn cool. I do think they call it the action shot, but that was a really good movie to me. And also as far as acting wise, I feel like if you got the right look and personality, anybody can be an action star. When it comes to acting, I thought he acted his ass off. And was it Concussion? Was that the name of the movie about he had the accent about all the NFL players? Was it Concussion? Is that what it was called?
Oh, I never saw that movie. I know what you're talking
Really?
about. I never got a chance to see that movie.
I
Yeah, I
think it's
forgot about
actually
that.
called Concussion. It's about all the CTE that all the NFL players were experiencing. And he had like this.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
don't. I don't even want to say what the hell it was because if I'm wrong, people will roast me in the fucking comments. But he had a very
Yeah,
distinctive accent. He did not talk like Will Smith. I don't know if he was,
yeah,
what descent he was supposedly from, and I guess that was based on a true story. But he did play the hell out of that role. That's a
yeah.
good one,
Even
especially
in
if you're into football.
yeah,
That's probably a good one to take a look at.
even the one movie what was it? I Am Legend. Think about it. He was in that movie by himself almost the whole time with a dog. You have to
Yeah,
be good for people to watch a movie and it's just you.
yeah,
You the only one talking and
yeah,
it's you and a dog.
yeah.
You
You
have to be
really
damn
do.
good to do that.
Yeah, and well, Ali was a really good one.
Oh yeah, I
Muhammad
forgot about that.
Ali.
I forgot he played Ali. I forgot about that. That's the
Yeah,
most gangsters role he played.
yeah, he's got a lot of good roles up under his belt. We mentioned Independence Day.
Yep,
What's the Men in Black? I mean,
yep,
a
yep.
lot of
Especially the original.
good ones, man. I mean, and it's like I said,
Was it
it's
6 pounds or 7 pounds
seven
when he
pounds he was in.
gave all
Yep.
his organs away? Yep.
Wasn't he in one
So he's had.
movie like a golf movie or something like that? Bagger Vance or something like that.
Oh, I forgot about Bagger Vance. Yeah, I haven't seen
Wasn't
that in
that
a
him
long
in there?
time.
He was in
Yeah,
there.
he was in there too.
I did
The
like
only,
the what's the fucking what Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad. He was in that. He was
oh yeah, he was in
Deadeye.
that. Yeah, before they just did that remake or whatever. Yep,
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 he
yep.
was Deadeye in there. I like the one where he was kind of like the con man. I think it was called Focus, where he done
Focus.
like
That
those.
was a good movie.
Yeah,
That was a good movie. Yeah,
and that was
that was a
probably
good
like
one.
one of my more favorite Will Smith movies because he had kind of fallen off a little bit. When he done that, I kind of
Yeah,
was excited about seeing that movie. And I'll say falling off, I ain't gonna say he fell off, but the movies that he was putting out at that time wasn't really what I was looking for from
yeah.
Will
It
Smith.
was like Wild Wild West when he put
Yeah,
that out.
yeah,
People were like,
Wild West, and
man,
then I mean, I think I
yeah.
did watch iRobot, but that wasn't really a good one
Oh
in my
yeah, that was all
opinion.
right. I saw that.
He was
It was
chasing them
okay.
$20 million paychecks for a little bit. If they threw him the money, he
That-
would do it.
Yep. Oh, and the one he did on Netflix, it was the Netflix movie a few years ago. I forgot the name of it. It was just on Netflix. Remember
Yes,
how the Bluetooth and the aliens?
yes,
I can't
yes.
remember the name of it, but yeah, that one
I
too.
can't remember that one. I don't even know if I ever watched that movie, to be honest with you.
I
I
watched
remember
it
what you're
one time.
talking
It was
about.
all right.
Yeah,
I was all right. You had to really pay attention to it.
it was one of the first, I think, Netflix exclusive movie when that was kind of one of the first
With a
ones
big
when they started
star,
doing it. Yeah,
with
with
a
a big
big movie
star.
star
Yeah,
like that, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they said they paid him, what was it, 50 million or something like that to do that role. They paid him a lot of money for that role.
Netflix is banking, man. They changing the game. I talked with Tom Sizemore. He was in Heat and Natural Born Killers and Saving Private
Yeah,
Ryan. He's been in a ton of shit. And we had that conversation of how, like, you never would have thought it. I remember when Netflix first came out, I was getting DVDs in the mail, the
yeah,
drop them in the mail, the prepaid envelope. And now they put, all the video renting places out of business. They put Blockbuster out of business. They're
yeah,
changing the game streaming wise. A lot of people will take their story or their idea or their pitch to Netflix now because they have that money to throw around to finance some of this shit that these, bigger
yeah,
studios, are kind of having to be selective on what they put because they need to make money, especially now with COVID. There's not a lot of people, or
yeah.
not as many people going to the theaters and to the cinemas. So they have to be just
Mhm.
selective in the projects they choose. And Netflix is just, I mean, they're
Yeah.
like the big drug dealer on the block. This is gathering up all the damn, street corners and everything. They're gathering everybody. I mean, they're getting the market cornered on comedians and stand-up specials. I mean, they're changing the game, and pretty soon it's gonna be hard for some of these big studios. Marvel's like the only thing that's kind of holding a lot of this shit together right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even with my story, my whole goal is to get it on film, but I'm not even looking at, let's see, movie theater. I'm looking at Netflix or
Right.
Hulu or Amazon Prime because I know that's where it's going to be, and it's
Yeah.
going to be there forever, and people are going to watch that, So that's my whole goal is to aim towards them, whether
Yeah.
it's a series or whatever, but it's going to
Yeah.
be towards them. My goal.
Yeah, and that's I think a lot of people's goals now when they're trying to get into that, and it's a lot easier now too. To a lot of people can put shit together, man. There's shit I've seen shot on phones. I think it
Yeah,
wasn't too long
man.
ago. Steven Soderbergh, I think he shot a whole fucking movie on like an iPhone 8, and it
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
motion picture release. So
yeah,
if you've got the will and the know-how and the want to and the drive, you can put a film together. You don't have to have these multi-million-dollar equipment deals and all this. Now, granted, you got to get it out there. You can't just be a nobody and make a movie and put it out there. You got to have
yeah,
a platform to get it out there. But if you can find the right platform, and Facebook is a great way to advertise that. You can
yeah.
use Facebook to really blast your stuff out there, and it's free. It's free if you do it the right way. You know how to market. There's a guy we done an interview with a while back. His name's Ciro DiPaggio. Matter of fact, he's from down there in Florida. He's got a movie coming out called The Mob King. And he
Okay.
basically had this idea while he was locked up in prison. He done like 19 years in prison. And he filmed this movie in his head. And then when he got out, he was able to get a hold of a little piece of money and he put it together. And originally it was going to be a series. And then with COVID, it kind of got shut down. Things that he was supposed to go over to Spain and start filming the series. But when that got on hold, he just decided to shoot the movie over here. And he's got some well-known actors in it that helped him out. And it's fixing to be released as a motion picture. So it can be done. You
Yeah.
just got to have that right idea and you got to have the right story. And I was talking to my friend Brian Whitney the other day, the author, and I was telling him about you. And I was like, we actually had a conversation before. And I don't know if it's on our interview, if it was before the interview, but it's like when people knew he was an author, he's like, everybody said, man, I got this great story. You should do a book on it. And he's like, the story's like, I got in a car wreck, like something simple and stupid. And I'm like, look, I know we had a conversation where somebody says this story needs to be a movie. I said, but you need to mark out 2 hours. I said, and go watch or listen to my last podcast. I said, this story really needs to be a movie. I said, book, movie, something. I said, because
Good.
it's everything you can ask for. I said, it's got, the bad choices, the running from the law, the going to prison. Unfortunately, you got some tragedy in there. Then it all comes back in the end. He's got to face it all. And then there's a Hollywood-esque ending to it. I said, you don't have to twist shit. You don't have to fabricate shit. You just got to write it. And it's a fucking bestseller. It's a movie. It's, I'm telling and I've done a lot of podcasts so far since I've been doing this. I'm very fortunate to have met some really cool people, drug pushers, drug kingpins, ex-mobsters, comedians, actors, across the board. But your story is truly one of the greatest and most remarkable stories I've ever heard. And that's why when we done it, you weren't scheduled to come out till about 3 or 4 weeks after we did that because I've got so many. And I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? This story is just, I feel something about it that I feel pretty soon is going to blow up. And I wanted to go ahead and put it out there because I was like, I don't want nobody else to put something out with him before me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this shit out. Say, look here,
You want to be the original.
I
be the
told
original.
y'all to go out here and look at this. So hopefully that happens for you, man. I'm gonna keep pushing and grinding away for you. And I
never forget where I came from, man. I got you.
I appreciate it. And like I said, maybe next time
you can be my security. You can be my security standing in front of stage, okay?
There
so
you go. Well, I done seen this show before. You keep your ass in that seat. And maybe the next time somebody slaps the shit out of somebody, we can come back on here and do another episode on it, man.
Yep. Got anytime, man. Just hit me up, bro. Hit me up.
All right, my friend. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am Hollywood Wade. That was Kase Blaize. And unfortunately, we are out of time. Thank you for tuning in on this special edition of Crime and Entertainment about the slap heard around the world. Kase, we'll see you later on, my friend.
All right, man. Peace out, bro.
Yes, sir.